can see you, man.
We can see you now.
Oh, there you are.
You can see me.
There you are.
Yeah, we can see you.
You see me now.
We can see you now.
All right, good.
I see Marvin now, but
All right. So Nate, is this everybody? Is there anybody else that?
He won't be the other Nate.
Alexander, he's not gonna make it.
Well, he never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man in bonds.
Well, that's all right. I say I can officially get us started if you want.
Right.
We can do that.
hey, Nate, you look good, boy.
So Dale, I want to thank you for connecting us on this. I think you talked with Casey first about trying to get everybody together for to do something. I know
Pardon?
that
Okay.
I know that several of you guys were able to meet in Dayton in person a couple of years ago for the Funk Hall of Fame interview that you guys did in person.
Yes.
I got to watch that the other day. That was really great to see you guys on there. But I'm glad that we can do this on Zoom. I've done way more Zooms in the last 4 years than I ever thought I would do in my life. Didn't imagine anything like this. But it is a great way to be able to bring people together when you can't get everybody in the same.
Yes, it is.
So I'm
That
glad
it
that
is.
you guys.
You're right. You're so
I'm glad
right.
that you guys can be here. And I thought we could start out by if you guys could maybe introduce yourselves and say, well, just how about this? I see you all on my screen in a certain order.
Okay.
So I can go on the order on the screen and have you guys introduce yourself and tell a little bit about how you got started. And then I wanted to just ask a general question about how the band how Different Shades of Brown got together. So on my screen, I see Marvin first.
Okay. Well, my name is Marvin Sutton, and I actually, started singing in the church. My grandfather was a Southern Baptist minister, and we all started in church from knee high to, as they say, a grasshopper. And I started in the angel choir. And then I had an older brother that sang in groups, and I just tried to emulate him, watch him. I was at their practices, and Stevie actually used to come down to my grandmother's house where they would get together, and that's how I got started singing. And then I sang in several groups prior to getting with the Different Shades of Brown, and was asked to replace one of the members that was leaving to get married and moving to California. And we had an engagement to do, I think, maybe about 4 or 5 days after they asked me to join the group, and we practiced night after night after night, late in the wee hours of the morning, and we did the engagement, did well, and we just went from there.
All right, Ron, how about you next?
My name is Ronald Logan, and Marvin Sutton's grandfather was the pastor, and I grew up in the church where Marvin Sutton's grandfather was the preacher initially before he passed on. And I started singing on the street corner when I was about 10 years old in the southwest part of Springfield in a place called the Western Hills. And I just loved harmony. We just started singing on the street corner, the doo-wop songs. Marvin goes back a little bit farther than me. He should have told you some of the songs that he originally sang, Johnny Ace and the harp and the Deltones and all that. I didn't know those groups at the time. I came
Jeff in the Limelights.
Yeah. But we started singing, and I went to the Air Force during the Vietnam. And when I got out in 1968, a guy by the name of Jimbo Griffin, I was over at the YMCA. We called the Center Street YMCA. At that time, it was the Black Y. We had a Y downtown, and then the Black Y was on Center Street, and we shot pool. We did a lot of things. I went in there and hooked up with Jimbo. We started singing, and that's when Nate and Stevie came along, and we started singing from there. Marvin came on, like he said, after Jimbo left, and we worked Marvin pretty hard because Marvin learned probably about 10, 15, 20 songs in 4 or 5 days, plus the routine. So we probably lost about 20, 30 pounds practicing with. But Marvin was the zip of the group. When Marvin came in, we went to another level in terms of our professionalism. Marvin really added something to the group. But anyway, that's how we got started. And I'll let Stevie or Nate go next.
How about Nate?
Hi there. My name is Nate Newsom. Well, it's Nathaniel Jerome Newsom. And I was in the military, in the Army. And Stevie says he don't remember this. Ronald told me they didn't have a name for the group. They just rehearsed every day, but they didn't have a name. So I was on my way back to Germany after I got out of the service. And but when I came home on leave, Ronald said that he fellas, and they said when I got out of the service to put me in the group. But Stevie said he didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, he did. We told.
I didn't say that. He put a little yeast on that now.
Yeah. He put a little yeast on it.
Very next day that I got home, I already knew where rehearsal was because talking with Ronald. So I went over to the rehearsal, and if I remember correctly, I started rehearsing with him right away. And Stevie said he knew that I sang a little bit.
Oh man, everybody they do some singing.
Everybody.
Nate was bad. He was cold-blooded.
He had a reputation of singing.
Yeah,
Sure.
he did. Yeah, he did. I used to hate to see him coming.
And Stephen. So I just started rehearsing with the group. And remember now, we still didn't have a name. We started rehearsing, eventually we started rehearsing, Natalie, 7 days a week, twice a day, for 2.5 years. I don't know how we kept girlfriends or wives. We were 7 days a week, twice a day. And
plus we worked.
Yeah.
Sure did.
plus we worked at first.
What do you mean we worked at first?
Well, we got fired.
We was always working, Nate. We weren't lazy.
Oh, well, we got fired eventually.
Oh yeah, I sure did.
It couldn't get back. It couldn't back on the Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And then one I never forget, one Monday, Stevie was at work. Ronald, Jimbo, a fellow by the name of Alan Terhune, and myself, we met up at, not on purpose, we just happened to go to the Strivers nightclub. And while we were there, we started talking about a name for the group. And somebody said, what about the different shades of black since we have all the shades? And somebody else said, no, I said, no, there's a group down Central State called Different Shades of Black. Can't be there. So then someone said, well, just change black to brown. Because the black part would probably just would probably fade out. But brown would be perfect. But it worked. So we changed the name. We said Different Shades of Brown. The next day we went to rehearsal, told Stevie, and Stevie liked it. He liked it. So that's when we started calling ourselves the Different Shades of Black. And I don't know what brought on the two-a-day thing, but we started doing it, like I said, 2.5 years. We practiced twice a day. If you had a job, you didn't have an excuse not to come to the next rehearsal.
How
Night,
about-
it was from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and from 6 in the to 10 in the evening.
That's
And we
a, that's
practice
a lot. How about you, Steve? How did you, you got connected first through Ronald then?
No, I got connected. Me and Marvin, we went all through school together from elementary school, and we used to sing when we was little kid, elementary school.
Yes.
We didn't have a group, but we used to always sing "Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop" little after the Imperial, and we would always sing. And then by the time we was in the 7th grade, that's when Marvin's brother and his grandmother's house. And we would go up there, man, and I would have headaches holding oohs and ahs and doo-wops, you-waddle wows. And it was all long harmony. And it was there. We used to win talent shows. We used to win most talent shows.
I remember too, Stevie.
Yeah, we used to win most talent shows in Channel 5. We had a bass singer that could sing bass when we was kids.
That's right.
Yeah. But we was
Who
we
was that?
good.
Ben Mac? Was that Ben
Ben
Macklin?
Macklin, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
And but Nate Newsom, now he put a little east on what he just said, because Nate Newsom, if somebody's singing, Nate gonna be around, and here he come. I used to hate to see Nate Newsom coming around. Nate Newsom had that real high voice, and he was saying "Never Let You Go," and he would just blow the house away. And that is the truth with him, you know.
Right, yeah.
If Nate Newsom was around, he gonna sing. Yeah, I mean, and we all was like that, and I think that's what made the group click. We was all singers, and we wanted to that more than anything. And we got 4 guys together that reached the goal. The hardest thing about a group is everybody getting on the same accord, and that's what really popped. That's what really popped. And when we got with Motown, but like they say, we did rehearse. We rehearsed a lot. I had to learn how to dance. I
Go ahead, Stevie.
I could sing. I could sing, but I could not dance. But I worked at it. I worked at it hard, and that was my experience with the Different Shades of Brown. It's nothing like my experience with these guys, and they like brothers to me. I mean, we are really like brothers.
That's exactly right. And Stevie, I'll give you credit. You practice and you dance pretty good. Jimbo was the one that never danced too terribly much. He always stood at the mic and popped his fingers. He didn't shuffle his feet, but you did the figure 8 pretty good, Stevie. I give you credit on that.
I tried hard.
Hey, some of the Temptations couldn't. Only thing they knew was choreography. That's what you learned was choreography, Stevie.
Yeah,
that's what I had to learn.
Right. Well, see, I heard Otis Williams say that Eddie Kendricks was kind of stiff. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I heard him say that. And when I look at it, I could see it. I never could see it back then. But when he said it and pointed it out, I could see that. And I didn't like to spin. Ronald Logan could spin on a dime, and man, I stepped back and clapped for Ronald. Go, Ronald.
Hey Stevie, you know what I thought was I thought Marvin and Nate could dance. I thought we worked hard enough to do our routines, but when we got to Detroit, Charlie Atkins, who was the choreographer for we didn't have to go to we didn't have to go to Charlie Atkins because we had rehearsed so much. We had our routines down pretty good.
Well, I had a good teacher with Herschel Scott.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it was good.
He was the best teacher I probably could have had. You know, just like that.
Yeah.
So Herschel Scott did all your choreography?
All of it. And he
he
was dynamite guy. He was dynamite guy with that choreography.
Yeah, he was.
He was. You needed a guy with a lot of patience, Stevie, and Herschel had a lot of patience.
Herschel cut one of his rooms and put mirrors on all the walls in this room. And I was doing something and Stevie was doing something, but he and I did not know that the other one was doing it. And that is during the course of the day, we would go over to Herschel.
Get that extra, get that head start on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ourselves looking in the mirror. Now I could dance as far as what was going on socially, but as far as group dancing, I never done that before. So it was a problem dancing with 3 other guys.
And then you got to make it look alike.
That's right.
Here,
Uniform.
You have to make it look alike. So we practice on making it look alike. When one hand went up, we want the hand to go up the same distance. When one stepped out, you know, everything was alike. That's what the rehearsal was.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I thought the Pips were the premier example that we had to follow. Other Gladys Knight and the Pips were very, very good.
And the Whispers.
Oh yeah.
You got it. You got it. Yep.
And the
Where did you
OJs.
guys, where did you guys rehearse?
everywhere.
Anywhere we could.
Everywhere.
We had some people that were nice enough to let us use their garage,
Basements.
the basement of the YMCA.
It was hot down there too.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. Sweat a lot.
room down there. Yeah.
Dale, you're the one who helped get us all connected today. What's your connection with the group?
Oh my goodness, I used to book them. I helped book them on some dates down in Augusta, Georgia. My old partner Sylvester Westry and I both, we had an agency and a booking agency, and we was concert promoters as well. It's which I'm doing now here in Colorado. And but I had them. My goodness, Augusta, Georgia. I went out to LA and got them booked out there before that. When they just got, I think they just signed with Motown at the time, you know. But it was, I tell you, I've been doing this since 1971 to 72, and I got hooked up with Clem McMurray and all that good stuff, and you know. But it's been a blessing.
And Jingles might not. What Jingles did you book us up in Michigan and in Albion?
The college.
No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that one. But we had another one. I can think that there was a club up there. But go ahead.
Battle Creek.
No,
Battle Creek.
that was what's it called. You know, he had a sister.
That was Tommy Daniels.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Tommy Daniels. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Well, how did you guys get connected how did you get to Motown? I mean, what was the steps to get you there?
That was a journey. That was
The 20 grand. We had a gig in the 20 grand. And it was for a weekend. It was for 10 days, but we're going to try out for 1 weekend.
Did Brendan Maper help you on that, Stevie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nate Newsom could speak on that, but we had if we wasn't good the first weekend, we wasn't going to do the 10 days.
Yeah, they said we were out of there.
Yeah, but we showed out that first weekend, and they kept us.
Hey, Steve, can I say something?
Yes.
I remember that the 20 grand because the first night y'all was there, the owner, he was a very arrogant guy. And he said, if y'all win, like you just said a few minutes ago, if y'all win this one, I'm gonna kick you out of here and this, that, and the other. Y'all put on a heck of a show. And then that second night, I think if I can remember correctly, Smokey walked in and said he wanted y'all, but Clay said, I saw y'all first. I saw him first. Do you remember that?
Norman Whitfield also.
Yeah. Whitfield. You're right. You're right. Yep. Sylvester and I was right there, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clay McMurray and Norman Whitfield were producers at Motown, and Norman Whitfield was actually a producer for the Temptations.
Right.
But I think when we first got there, they had Bohannon's band and a group called the Stylists, and we were the low group on the totem pole.
Right, we were not top billing.
Bohannon but we ended up in about 3 or 4 days. We ended up being top billing, and we came in on the bottom. And the guy said, if y'all don't, he said, listen, matter of fact, he said, if y'all don't do good Friday and Saturday, Sunday's gonna be your last day. Y'all pack up and go back home.
Yep.
By the time Sunday came, we did a matinee that was jam-packed. And so we never looked back after that. Bohannon's band and Edwin Starr, David Ruffin, the Dramatics, the Spinners,
Undisputed Truth.
Who?
Undisputed Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Undisputed Joe Fat.
New Birth.
No, I didn't know. The New Birth was there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
The Spinners.
Was this all? Is it 20 grand?
Yeah.
Yes,
This was all
yes, but
so a
They were
lot.
checking us out.
wasn't nothing like the 20 grand. Wasn't nothing like the 20 grand. It was
That's right.
we was in all of the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
And we never worked 10 days straight. So but after that particular gig, all of our voices got real strong. We never sung every day. We practiced, but it's a little different from an engagement and practice. So when you have an engagement, you're really putting out. But after that particular 10-day stretch, man, our voices just picked up. And shoot, I could go up with Marvin and Nate.
Go, Stevie. Oh,
So,
Lord have mercy.
how fast did it go from there? Did you get hooked up with Clay McMurray there?
Right there. That's when we got hooked up with Clay.
Oh, yeah. Sure did.
And he set up an audition for us to come over to Motown and, just audition.
Was that when we did acapella, Marvin?
Yes.
Was we on the 8th floor and we did an acapella? What is it? All the leaves up around.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a chance to go either to Stax at that time. Stax was in Detroit too.
Oh.
They was in Memphis, but they was in Detroit. That's where the Dramatics were.
Yeah.
And Stax wanted us, but so we was closer to Detroit from Ohio, so we picked Clay. It went with Motown Records.
You remember the name of the guy that we auditioned for?
If you say it,
big cigar. I forget his name.
His name was Ewart Abner.
yeah.
He was president of Motown.
Yeah,
president of Motown.
That's right.
And Wayne was a guitar player for us.
Yeah.
At the rehearsal, and we did California Dreaming. In fact, Ewart, Clay was our producer, but Ewart, he
was right up in the Barry Gordy
at Motown.
at Motown, yeah.
Barry was the chairman of the company.
Yeah, he said he was right under Barry.
Yeah.
Right, he was right under Barry.
He was our man. I didn't really realize that till a long time later, but he was.
Yeah.
That's the day I met Barry Gordy's daddy. We all did. We probably just don't remember.
I remember meeting him. I do.
On the elevator.
Yes.
Elevator, and he said, "Hey, fella, different shades of brown." I said, man, how did he know who we were? He knew who we were.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was very popular, Nate. Y'all was just very popular at that time, man. Y'all was a new act coming up at that time.
Yeah.
Y'all were the last group that signed with Motown before everybody moved out to LA.
Right. We were.
So when they moved out to LA, did you guys have to go to LA for anything after that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
They had
finished.
to go out there and record. They moved all the recording studios out there.
So did you get to your first studio sessions? Where were you guys at?
In Detroit.
On Grand Boulevard, Hitsville, USA, on Grand Boulevard. That was
which is now a museum.
First recording session.
My husband and mother-in-law went there last summer.
That's Studio A. Studio B was over on Davison.
That's right. Sure was.
Davison was across the other side of town, but that was Studio B.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them studios were real good Motown studios.
So a lot of big names recorded there. Were you guys ever there at the same time as any of those big names?
A lot. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Stevie still owed me a beer, Stevie.
Yeah.
We had those tall boys and we were drinking them and he came in and borrowed one and started drinking one of my beers. I can't wait to see him. I said, man, you owe me that beer back, man.
But he did bring
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, yeah.
GC Cameron.
Temptation.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GC.
GC Cameron was lead singer for the Spinners when they made this record, It's a Shame.
And then he sang with the Temptations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Smokey, we met, I met Stevie Wonder out in California also. And Stevie Wonder wanted to do something. He was funny, man, because he knew. I told him I was with the different shades of brown. He knew the group. He said, "Oh yeah, Clay's group." He wanted to do something with us, and I came back to the office that Clay had out there, but we was trying to finish the album, but we never did work with Stevie. Man, I wish hindsight is always 2020.
Well, was it out there that he came down and bought a whole cooler of beer and we sat and talked to him for a couple hours?
That was another time, but see, this was downtown on Sunset in the Motown building. This wasn't the studio. See, this was on Sunset, and he was in a little room. Me and Kevin Calhoun went in, and we just went in and started talking, and he started talking like he could see everything we could see. But that was a quite experience for me.
What was on that first album that you released?
Well, Label Me Love was our first single. And You Won Hearts and Flowers, not You Won Hearts and Flowers.
Lights the Ball was on the other side.
Yeah, Lights the Ball. Yeah.
You Be Hurt Too when the Hurts Put Back on You was our second single that came out. And
Cindy Good, our vibrations were on the other side
Yeah,
of when they put back on you.
that's right. Sure was.
Can you tell me more about Label Me Love?
Label Me Love was led by Mr. Dynamite, Mr.
Talk to me, man.
Mr. Logan, Mr. Logan,
Oh, that's who it is.
Mr. Logan.
The hardest working man in show
and
business.
see, that was recorded in Detroit, and when the Hurts Put Back on You was recorded in L.A.
No, it wasn't.
When
Out of L.A., but it started in Detroit.
Okay, but that's when Nate Alexander came in. Nate Alexander never recorded in Detroit.
Yeah.
Nate Alexander recorded in L.A.
Yeah.
And Nate Alexander's on When the Hurts Put Back on You, and that's what came out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was finished. You're right, Nate. It was finished in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But the first record was Label Me Love for Motown, and we was on the Tamla label. And to come to find out, the Tamla label was the first label for Motown.
Yep, that's right. You're right, Stevie. You got it.
That was the first label of Motown. And then when the Hurts Put Back on You, they changed us to the Blue Motown label.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why they switched between the labels? Is it based on?
I have no idea.
Well, Motown just had a bigger name than Tamla label.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motown, that's where Smokey was.
Right.
Smokey and Stevie, I think, was on Tamla.
Stevie was on Tamla. Temptations was on Motown too.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Temptation was on Gordy.
On Gordy.
Yeah.
It was on a purple label.
Yeah.
It was on a purple label. The Motown label was a blue label. Tamla label, yellow label.
One thing I noticed though, when we released the first song and we signed with Motown, it just seemed like we started making more money. And when we started making more money, I was wondering, how did Archie? Do y'all remember Archie?
Oh yeah.
And Brown Trading Stamp. How did Archie get involved with us? That was a still mystery to me today, because Archie and Clarence started getting us gigs all across the country. And we was in Houston and Dallas with Jerry Butler and the Dells. And something happened where the guy took our money, and Archie told us not to worry about it. And we were able to he was able to get us hooked up to get us back to Ohio. But I'm still curious, how did Archie become our connection to booking us?
Archie started with the 20 grand. Archie started in the 20 grand. And see, Clarence wasn't in the 20 grand. Archie worked for BK. Remember BK? BK was the owner of the 20 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
BK and Archie worked for BK. And when we showed out them 10 days, Archie tried to get on the train. And so, and Archie, they had money, and we needed money, and
Right, right.
but we needed a van. And see, in the early 70s, a van was a truck. And then in the late part of the 70s, they had vans made. They start fixing vans up to be, cool kind of truck or cool kind of carrying. But when we had a van, it was strictly for the van and for our equipment. And then brand new, 1972, wasn't
It was a Ford van, brand new. They bought us a very nice PA system too, a very nice sound system.
They brought us
Pure.
They brought us clothes from Cousins, a department store in Detroit called Cousins. Remember the jackets?
Yep. I remember that. I sure do.
Yeah. And but it was a money thing for them. It was a money thing for them. And it was a more of a business opportunity for them.
Did you
Stevie, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you travel through to all your gigs in the van? Did you guys ever get to fly?
All across the country, from New York to Los Angeles, from Wisconsin to Texas.
Better know it.
The band actually drove the van with the equipment, and we would ride in our personal cars.
Okay. Did you guys ever ride together? I mean, did
all
you
time
each drove your own, or you guys
No, we rode together usually.
rode together?
Yeah. That's why I like Five Heartbeats. When you see the movie, the Five Heartbeats, they was riding in the car and got stopped by the cop, but then we all rode together. But they had their equipment in the same car. We didn't have our equipment in the same transportation.
Yeah, but we did get stopped by the cops too.
No, yeah, we did.
You remember going down to Kentucky State when we forgot the shoes and we had to make that U-turn in the emergency vehicle U-turn only?
Yeah. And Marvin, you the one that's got us in trouble. You the one to make that U-turn.
No. I was in the back seat.
Who was driving? Marvin, who was driving? Who was driving?
I
don't know who.
I don't remember who was driving, but I know I was in the back seat.
Hey, but let me tell y'all this. I got a DVD. I got the Five Heartbeats and the Temptations movie on the same disc. Them was two of my favorite movies. I could relate to everything on both of them movies.
Yes, sir.
Everything that went down on both of them, the Five Heartbeats and the Temptations story. We could relate.
How about I Ain't Too Proud, the musical? Have you guys seen the musical version on stage?
It's coming to Atlanta, and I'm going to see it. I'm
tell you, I traveled. I was with Otis on a couple of his, when he started the whole scenario with that, with his stage show and everything. It was wonderful. Stevie, y'all got to see it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it was in Dayton last year or earlier this year, maybe. I can't remember, but I saw it. So watching you guys talk earlier or listening to you guys now, but seeing your interview earlier, I was like, this reminds me of the show. So I figured you guys would relate a lot to that whole era of music.
Oh yeah.
It's history. It's just history.
Right. Right. We go way back, even though we were young, but we remembered Harvey and the Moonglows, the Flamingos. Me and Nate used to talk about the Flamingo. I'll Only Have Eyes for You. That's one of my greatest songs. That's the greatest songs ever.
Did I ever tell y'all that the guy that led that song did business with me when I was living in Chicago?
I Only Have Eyes for You.
Yeah, the guy that actually led the song. Yes.
Shut up. No kidding.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I love that song.
Yes.
That song was awesome.
How do they decide who sings what songs? Because it seems like, I mean, and what I gathered from the Ain't Too Proud show was that most groups weren't writing their own songs, but a lot of them would play each other's, or stuff would get played, but some would get big with it, would hit big with a certain one.
Most of the time you copy. You copy, and everybody wanted to be the Temptation. But us being from Ohio, we kind of patted ourselves after the OJs.
Yeah.
Because the OJs was a cool kind of different kind of steps from the Temptations. Everybody wanted to do Temptations. Everybody did James Brown. Somebody going to be out there doing the James Brown.
Hey, Stevie, to this day, I tease Otis about that. When I'm on the road with him sometime, I tease him. I says, Otis, when y'all do a show with the OJs again? He said, Dad, don't start no stuff. The OJs made you work. You right, Stevie. They was cold blooded.
And the Whispers.
Yep, you got it. You
Yeah,
got it.
that's right. That's right.
It
Yeah,
was cold-blooded.
but see, even going back, even before that, me and Marvin and well, all of us, Nate and Ronald, one of the baddest groups of that time in the '60s was the Mad Lads.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I forgot about that.
yeah.
I want a girl, shop around. I don't
Yes,
have to
that's-
shop around
Yeah.
anymore. Oh man, they wasn't no groups like them, man. The Eulish was a guy that sung with me and Marvin
yeah.
when we was
Yep,
young.
I remember that.
And-
Remember, Stevie?
and Eulish had a feel, soulful feel that tears used to roll down his face.
Hey,
You remember that,
but to answer her question about how we determine who's going to sing, so a lot of times the producer would
Yeah, that's right.
suggest, here's a
Right.
song that I want you to listen to and see what you think, and see how you feel about it.
Well, you guys did Label Me Love first, right? Is that the first one released? But
Yeah.
there is another one out there.
Michael
And-
Jackson
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, yeah,
featuring.
he did it after us.
The different James Brown are the ones on his background.
You guys are the backing track then. Yeah.
Well, we had the background. We did the background.
Michael Jackson's version of Label Me Love, the background is different shades of brown.
That's right, because the Jackson 5 did do that song, didn't they?
Yes,
After
they
us.
did.
After
Right.
us.
After we did, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
They
Mhm.
did it because I
Michael
left.
did it. Not the Jackson 5. Michael.
Okay.
But it's a different shades of brown in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play them side by side on YouTube, you can hear it. It's definitely the same background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
I say a lot of times in the early days, we just pick a song and we'll hear a song and then we say, man, that sounds like Nate Newsom.
Yeah.
Nate, you got to sing this. We got
You
to.
got-
Oh, Marvin, you could do this one. That's how we just kind of picked them up. We knew each other's voices, and
Yeah.
we had a group where we could change. Sometimes we would change from the pop, who got the middle and the top or the bottom. Not
Yeah.
the top necessarily, because that was Marvin and Nate. But me and Ronald, sometimes we would change to
That's
get
right.
whoever had the better sound on the bottom. Sometimes Ronald would be on the bottom, and I
Yeah.
would be in the middle on the second. So
Yeah.
we would do it like that, and whoever lead. We had a group that everybody led just about.
Yeah, and Stevie, I think that's what really got me excited. Everybody could lead, and everybody had a good lead. If you sang a song, got me going in circles. I mean, that was a phenomenal thing. It was unique for your voice, and me and Nate talk about being in the background all the time. How much fun, how we enjoyed backing you up or backing Marvin up, and all of us getting the opportunity to sing lead was phenomenal.
Right.
I think Nate was called Golden Voice, and Marvin, what did they call you?
Oh, no,
Sex
what did you
machine.
what did you call me? You started that.
What did they call
Hey,
you?
hey, Marvin, hey man, hey Stevie, what they call you, man?
Bobby Montgomery named Marvin the Lover. Ronald called Mr. Showman. Then they gave me the what was mine? Golden Voice.
Golden Voice, that's right.
What was mine?
Stevie, I don't remember yours.
I was just there.
Oh, come on, man. Wait a minute. Stevie was Mr. Smooth. His voice was so smooth and so mellow. And I'm trying to think of that name because it was somebody from a record.
Clay called me the
Low note, yeah.
low
You
note.
Low
Clay
note.
Coming from Dayton. WBW. What was that?
DL.
WDAO.
He's the one that gave us our name.
Yeah.
She had heard it the day before, the night before we did the what was that show they did in Memorial Hall?
The Star
Motor,
Search. Star Search.
Yeah,
Soul Search. Soul Search.
Soul Search. And she gave us our nicknames. And it's not that I always thought I was all that, but I really did like the name she gave me. I ain't gonna lie. I like that.
you had a
So-
good voice, Nate. You could.
When
Matter of
was
fact,
when was the soul when was the one at Memorial Hall?
That was the Soul Search. And we had a audition to James Brown production. Let me tell this story, y'all. We won a contest to James Brown, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cincinnati, and we went down there. And if y'all remember, there was a guy named Speedy Brown,
Yep.
big tall guy. He had a marble top desk and a big old high back chair, and he slid up in that marble top desk, and he told us, "Don't call me, I'll call you." And we said, "Well, we won the talent show." He said, "Don't call me." I mean, we've never been turned around like that. But that was one to remember. That
Don't
was that was one to remember. But
and he
you know,
never called.
and he never called, and we never called him. So
Yeah.
Speedy Brown, I never will forget that one. That was James Brown production. James Brown, that's when he had the production King
Yeah.
Records.
King Records.
Yeah,
King
King
Records.
Records.
Yeah, down in Cincinnati. Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the Ebony Club that I remember Stevie and Marvin out when we signed with we was at Herschel House. I think somebody from the Ebony Club called and wanted us to sing, and they rejected us at first because we didn't have horns. And so they called. Now, this is my recollection, Nate. You might remember different, but I told Herschel to tell the caller. I don't know. I thought his name was Maceo. I thought his name was Maceo. And I told Herschel to tell Maceo, we still don't have no horns, even though we signed with Motown. So we ain't coming because we ain't got no horns.
I remember that. These are pros and cons of the business.
So
Yeah.
how, as far as like when you had shows, did you travel with the same band usually? Or was it the same as you would have had at your studio sessions, the same people, or?
No, never did the studio session. The studio session was the Funk Brothers.
Yeah.
The Funk Brothers was the Motown's band, and they were awesome. Top. Like these guys is classical trained, jazz musicians.
Yeah, that's right.
They went from jazz to R&B, and I mean, for jazz to do that was very impressive.
Very, they was on more records than the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Elvis Presley put together.
Got it. You're right, Stevie.
Mm-hmm. They were that good. And then when we went to the 20 Grand, Bohannon had a lot of the guys that was with the Funk Brothers, and Bohannon was one of the Motown bands, but he wasn't on the recordings. I don't believe he might have been, but Wild Reagan was with him sometime. Michael Henderson was with him sometime, but sometime other than that, Michael Henderson, it was James Jamerson. And
Jamerson, right.
When we seen James Jamerson play that bass, it was nothing like what we ever seen.
That's right.
I mean, we seen some good musicians, but nothing like James Jamerson.
That's right. That boy was good. Yeah, he was.
He died too young.
We traveled with the band that we practiced with.
Yes.
And whenever we did engagements, I mean, they went to California with us. They went to Detroit with us. They went wherever we went. And,
and we
had so they knew the routines and everything, you know.
So we had a complete show. Usually we had a single singer. When we first started, we had a female singer named Willa Mae Cosby.
Yeah.
My God.
And then we had what's his name? For Heat Wave.
Keith Wilder.
Keith Wilder would do about 2 or 3, 4 songs and then bring us out. The band would do a set, and then Keith would do a set, and then we would be the stars of that show. But we always had a complete show when we travel.
And back then, you remember at first, we used to do 14 songs a set.
Yeah, yeah.
Until we
got to 20 grand.
We got to 20 grand, and they said, "Hey, man, y'all sing too many songs. Cut those songs down to 4 or 5." And that's when we started doing 4 or 5 songs a set. Because prior to that, we used to do 15, 16 songs a set. We love that.
Yeah, that's right.
We love it.
We sure did. It's everything is a learning experience. Even the Speedy Brown thing when we went to Cincinnati, it was a learning experience. Yeah. Everything about music is a learning experience. You don't get it. I don't think you ever get it. If you talk to Otis Williams probably today, and I don't know how old Otis is, but he'd
be 83 Wednesday.
But he still gets the same. I bet you he still gets the same kick out of all he did when he was 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, he does.
It's the same. Music is you don't ever get the full of it. You did something that you can just keep on doing and keep on.
Sure do.
Well, I have a question. What about Ron? So you left not long after the Label Me Love.
Yes.
And to join to enter the ministry here. So was that back here in Springfield?
That was in Springfield. Yeah, that was in June. Yeah, that was really a traumatic thing for me. That was when it was released. We got called, and Clay said we're headed out for California, and that's when the Lord, when I was filled with the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, and I told him the Lord had called me to leave. That was probably the most traumatic moment in my life. And for us to be friends and, like Stevie said, still brothers today is monumental. But I went ahead on and I was able to start a church. And I've got 22 acres of land. I started with 2 people, and we were able to build a pretty good ministry. And I'm about ready to retire now. I'm going into emeritus status. And I was able to sing with a choir for 20 years and started recording gospel. And I was able to sing with the Hawkins, James Cleveland, and the Commission, and all these were groups in the religious world. And so I was able to get a chance to sing with all of those guys who had really done well in the religious world. And then I got called to preach. And so then I was able to bring some of the people I sang with into the church. So I've had a pretty lengthy career. But the thing that I'm excited about is that Marvin and Stevie and Nate to this day are like brothers to me. I love them to pieces. If anything happened, they know I'd be there in a heartbeat. I think the only one that I would probably hesitate a little bit would be Marvin. Marvin tried to choke me when I was a little boy and almost killed me a little bit. But I still love Marvin. I want Marvin to know that. But I mean, I've had the best experience in the world with all of these guys. I do. And I praise God for them. I even asked the Lord when we get to heaven if I get a chance to sing with them, because the voices and their work ethic and who they are and their character is second to none. And I've met a lot of people, Natalie, in my life. I'm 77 going on 78. And I started on the street corner singing, and they used to call the police on me. And I used to run because I'm singing so hard and because I wanted to become a star. I really wanted to make something, but they was always calling the police on me. So when I finally got a chance to get with Stevie and Nate and Marvin and sing, that was just a release. So for me, I had a work ethic of singing and singing and singing. But me and Marvin, we lived, matter of fact, I stayed on Dybert, and Marvin stayed a couple of doors down the street from me. And we used to play growing up a little bit. But Marvin was always bigger than me, older than me, stronger than me, and tried to beat me up a couple of times. But I love him. Me and Marvin, we ended up being best friends.
Yeah.
Now, Natalie, we don't want you to get the wrong impression. I'll just say this. He said he'll be how old?
Hey, Stevie, do I have some yeast on it?
Yeah, let's throw some little yeast on that.
That's a lot of yeast.
Hey, you said you'll be how old? 78?
No, I'll be 78 in May. I'm 77.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am 74. Okay. And when you're a child, 10, 12 years old, those 3 years make a big difference in size, in strength.
but wait a minute. Hey, Marvin, please tell them that you've been 74 for 7 years.
No. No.
Marvin, you just respect your elders, don't you?
No. Do I need to tell the story of how that really went down?
Hey, Marvin,
Do I really?
no, please don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell it. I'll tell it. Ronald was 15 and Marvin was 5.
Come on.
And Ronald was going home one day and Marvin was on his tricycle. Marvin accidentally ran over Ronald's foot and Ronald beat him up. He was 15.
No.
Hey, Stevie.
Here's what really happened. You're real close, Nate. But
no.
Here's what really happened.
Hey, Marvin, tell the truth.
We used to watch wrestling a lot, okay? and I was able to do a wrestling hold, and somebody told Ronald, "I bet you can't get out of that hold." Okay, I'm a little guy. He was a big guy, so I got him in this wrestling hold, and he couldn't get out.
He tried to kill me.
I might have went a little overboard.
No, what you talking about? You might have went a little.
I held him
you
longer
went
than
way
he wanted
overboard.
to.
Marvin went way up. But one thing I'll say about it, he choked me until I was able to start singing. I learned how to sing through that chokehold.
When I let him go, he was upset.
What was some of the favorite
But he
songs?
let me put him in the hold, okay?
Hey, Marvin, listen, let me ask you guys, what was the thing when we were singing, and not just what we recorded, but what we sang, what would be your favorite song? And Stevie, the same for you, and Nate, the same for you. What would be the famous songs that you guys remembered when we were traveling in the nightclub before Motown, during Motown, and even after Motown?
Well,
what would be
one of the songs that I grew to really love? I accidentally heard it. Well, not accidentally, but I had an album by the Temptations called anyway. It had a song called "With These Hands," and that rehearsal one day.
Mellow Mood.
Huh?
Yeah, Mellow Mood.
Either Mellow Mood or at the Apollo.
Mellow Mood.
It was Mellow Mood.
And
And over Paul Baker's mother's house over on, she lives on Grand, I think.
On Grand, that's right.
And for some reason, I started singing "With These Hands," and I don't know why, but everybody knew the background. And we started singing the whole song. Ended up, the person's wife didn't like the song.
With these hands,
but we ended up putting it on our show.
For you.
And "With These Hands" was a show tune. And I love singing that song, man. And for some reason, whenever I did slow songs, I would cry when I sang slow songs, because I could put myself into the song that we were singing about, and it would make me very emotional.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite song that we did.
It made a lot of women emotional too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Marvin's the one. Now Nate, tell everybody that Marvin was the one that got women all excited when he sang.
Oh, well, yeah. Remember, that was one of the, like, you talking about Jimbo left the group?
Yes.
As great as Jimbo could sing. But when Marvin came, Marvin could sing. He was handsome. He was charismatic. He could dance. He could do it all. In fact, it's in the book, Motown Golden Years. We went from one level to another level.
That's right. When Marvin
got
it.
Right.
Marvin, what was your favorite song?
Well, it was I had a lot of songs that I really enjoyed doing. One of the ones that was one of my favorites, it was one that we had taken and arranged in a very unique way. I really enjoyed singing California Dreaming.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah, yeah,
I really
like
enjoy
that.
singing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that one too, Marvin, because I felt we could do that a cappella as well as music, and I really like that song.
that's the first song we did for our audition after we got with Motown.
And
Oh,
the other one, I got one more that we did, Little Green Apples, and something the way we,
yeah, something the way she
yeah,
moves.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. My favorite song is One Night Affair.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wanna make you my wife. All I want is a. Yeah, I really like that song. Probably for me anyway.
One of my favorites was By the Moments, because we used to do the figure eight, and it was Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday was a Friday,
Yeah,
but she's gone today. Nate Newsom sang that, man.
yeah, yeah,
And I really and all I have was By the Moments also.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
to me, Nate Newsom had a tenor, and Marvin
yeah.
all had some tenors that was
Woo.
just as good as anybody out there.
Anybody, that's right.
Anybody out there, and them songs, I just loved the background was so good that man, it made me feel good. But and then that's the figure eight song Sunday when we did that figure eight. And you know, and I'm dancing. And now I'm dancing now. You know?
Hey, but did you like going in? I like going in circle and grazing the grass.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
I like going in circles and check it out too.
check it
Oh
out.
yeah, check it out. That was a good one. Yeah. If you need a strong hand. Well, yeah, Stevie, you singing that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
The guide you through the night.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did going in circles. Baby, I be so good at loving you.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what it, 3-4 times. Ba-da, ba-da-da,
Mm-hmm.
ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da,
Okay.
da-da-da. Baby, I could be so good at loving you.
Hey guys, one of my favorite songs, all of y'all, When the Hurts Put Back on You. Go, Nate.
Yeah, Nate, that was good, man. I really like that.
What was that song that the Smokey did that them guys wrote? The when the hurts put back on you. And what's the song, Nate Newsom, that Smokey did? The same writers.
Wade and David.
They're the same writers wrote. What's the song that Smokey did?
Last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the same writers.
Come too far now.
yeah, we come too far to end this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good songs. And see, Natalie, all of them songs is the Funk Brothers, even the Jackson 5. That wasn't the Jackson 5 playing on them records. That was the Funk Brothers, or even all them early Jackson 5. I Want You Back, ABC, and all of that.
Yeah.
All of that was the Funk Brothers. So, you know.
True.
So
Wow.
yeah, it was just some good memories that we going back.
Yeah. I think I really enjoyed, Stevie, when we got a chance to travel with the Dells. I thought the Dells and Jerry Butler was a favorite tour that I got a chance to do that I really still remember to this day. I know that most of the Dells are passed on, but those guys were gentlemen and they could really sing.
Professionals. They showed us what the life is, what the life of an entertainer is. And Jerry Butler was real cool. He was
The Iceman.
The Iceman.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, them guys they did it just like a job. You know, like you sing and then you go to sleep and then you go to the next city. And that was a real good learning experience for us.
One of my favorite memories was when I met Marvin Gaye in the studio. You know, we had been in the studio all night recording some songs, And Natalie, a lot of times we go into the studio and we would record songs. We learn them and record them. We'd hear them for the first time and learn them, arrange them, put backgrounds to them. And so I forget what this particular song was that we recorded, but we put the background track down on it. And I was real tired, and I went down, and we had a couch in the studio, and I went to sleep on the couch, and I woke up, and they were kind of mixing it down. They put the lead on it while I was asleep, and I got up and came up and sat down on the stool at the mixing board, and they were playing the song back, and I heard his voice say, "Hey, brother, y'all sound real good." And I turned around and looked at him. It was Marvin Gaye.
Wow. Wow.
And I said, just like this, like you see in the movies, you're Marvin Gaye.
Hey,
He said,
that's
yeah,
right.
brother. And I said, I'm Marvin too.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
It was riding on that bus with the Dales and Jerry Butler. We were playing bid whist, and they get to joning just like we do, They joning and talking trash, and it's just they showed us what business a part of it is,
It did. But Stevie, when we got off the bus, I remember, I think we was in Oklahoma City when we got off the bus. What broke my heart was, as we were going up to our room, there was these girls that just wanted to connect with us, and whatever we could give them, it was just following. I guess you call them groupies that followed us and followed us right into the hotel.
You can't tell everything now.
And this call is being recorded.
Oh, well, listen. Listen. We didn't go into the room with them. They were there.
We sure did.
Sure didn't.
Are y'all
No,
telling
we
the
didn't.
truth? Are y'all telling the truth on that one?
Not me. Not
We
me.
didn't go in no room doing
No. I was just kidding. No, I knew he wasn't going to say anything inappropriate.
I must have been asleep.
No, I'm not talking. No, huh? It just broke my heart because they were so attractive, and I just thought they were throwing their life away by following groups rather than to try to get their own life together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's serious stuff.
I'm going to say this, guys. Each one of y'all got a story to tell. You can write a book. Each one of you guys. I mean, it's just because you got so much history in back of you.
Well, Jingles, I've been in the hair business for quite a while, number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I do say different stories, and a lot of guys tell me that through the years, man. Said you had a hell of an experience, Steve. They call me Pop now. I'm the old guy.
Yeah.
They pop, man. You got a hell of an experience. You should write a book. They've been saying that to me, and me and Nate Newsom been saying that. We could, just get stories together, because if we talk like this to each, we come up with a pretty good book.
I'm telling you, Nate, I said something to you about that too before, I think too. But yeah, you got stories. I mean, you got a story to tell.
I mean, meeting the Whispers, the Delphonics, the Dells, Jerry Butler, the OJs, Gladys Knight, and the Pips. Getting the chance to travel with those people and sing with them was monumental for me. That's something I'm never going to forget.
It's a blessing.
See, one of the guys that did the PA system for the Whispers, I was telling him, and I was telling him, you remember when Tom Jordan had that Saturday morning live show?
Yep.
And they had the Whispers on, and I was telling them we performed with the Whispers, and I was telling them the first song that I ever heard by the Whispers, Ronald brought it back when he was in the service. The first song we ever heard by them was "Great Day."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he told me, he told Scotty that, and it was a Saturday morning, and he called me in the barbershop, and Scotty got on the phone, and he said, "Man, where you?" He said, Scotty told him he had our name messed up. He was calling us Many Shades of Brown or something. But he had it wrong. And Scotty said, "No, I remember them guys. There was a different shades of brown. I remember them guys." And
Yeah.
Scotty on the phone with me, and he said, "Where are you from, man?" I said, "I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Ohio." He said, "A lot of people didn't hear Great Day." He said that was our second song. I forget what he said was their first song, but he remembered the group. Stuff like that I remember because Whispers is one of our favorite groups.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
y'all opened up. How many times y'all opened up for the Whispers? Once or twice? I know you did it one time.
About 2 or 3 times, didn't we, Nate?
Okay, probably did.
Cause we opened in Springfield for them.
Yeah.
But we was out in California with them too.
California too. At
Yeah.
the average flat.
Maverick Flats on Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm obviously about ready to bring that up. Check this out. When I went out there to book y'all out there at the Maverick Flats, now check this out. Never forget it. John Daniels, the owner of the place. He was, he loved, we had a nice meeting. He said, "I want you guys, just book them and this, that, and the other." Went right down there in the bar. They didn't say no alcohol, if you remember. No alcohol was sold in the place.
Right.
Now check this out. And remember the group called Lakeside?
Yeah.
They was playing out there. They was talking. They tried to come down on y'all so bad. And little Scotty, he said, no, them guys told John right in front of everybody, right there in that, right there by the bar. He says, "These guys are awesome." And that's what John said, "Let's do it." That's swear to God, he did that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scotty, he knew us. I talked to him, man. I talked to him on the phone. I was working with Sean. And yeah, he sure did. He sure did, man. And that's one of the good things about working with the Lakeside. Not Lakes. Well, Lakeside too, but what's the other group?
The Players, maybe.
The Players several times.
Yeah.
The original Ohio Players. And
Yeah, the original. That's right.
the original Ohio Players, and all of them has passed away.
Yep, that's right.
All of them.
All them
got
the
it.
original. Are you kidding me, Stevie? I thought
All-
there was some still alive.
Well,
I think there's
Diamond,
Diamond's not original.
Diamond's still there.
There's the guy that plays the drums is still there. I just went to
Diamond.
see them this year.
Diamond wasn't the one of the originals.
That's true. That's true, Stevie. He wasn't.
They go. What was his name? What was the guitar player's name?
Oh, Sugarfoot.
What now? Ward, Robert Ward. Robert Ward was before Sugarfoot.
Okay.
And see, that was the Ohio Untouchables. They
Right.
was on, with Wilson Pickett. What was the song, Nate?
I found
a Love. That was the Ohio Untouchables, and Robert Ward was back there. And see, when Robert left, that's when Sugarfoot came. And then there was another drummer there, and then Diamond. But like the horn players, all of them has passed away. Marshall,
wow.
Yep.
Marshall, them was the original Ohio players.
Pee Wee.
Satch.
Yep.
Yeah, Sats. That's right. Yeah. Remember them? Yeah. And did we ever play with the Barcades, Stevie?
I don't remember the Barcades, no. Because they was just coming back. Because see, they was just coming back for the. We might have played with them later on. Ronald, I don't think you was with us then.
Didn't they get I thought they got an airplane crash.
Yeah, in the late 60s.
Yeah, that was way back in the day.
Late 60s. They was.
Yeah, I think
Otis Redding.
So did you guys continue on playing and traveling for a few years into the mid-70s, didn't you?
Yes.
Did it stay the same kind of
Ronald
routine?
Ronald didn't go to California with us.
Right, I didn't go. That's right.
He didn't go. That's when we picked up a guy named Nate Alexander, and Nate was real good. Nate was real good.
Yeah.
Hey man, I love that guy. Me, Nate Alexander, and Nate Newsom. We did a 3 guy Different Shades of Brown for a long time. And we traveled, and that's when Nate Alexander sang the bottom, and I went to the second at that time. And we did a long time, didn't we, Nate Newsom?
We did.
We sung a long time with the three. We tried to get another singer, but it was hard. It was hard to get somebody to fit in with us. Because we was pretty strong singers.
And we let you drive too.
No, don't talk about that now. Hey, Nate, y'all didn't talk about everything, don't you?
Was Stevie a pretty good driver, Nate?
No,
Uh-huh.
no,
Steve's a
don't.
pretty good driver.
Now
Y'all
he-
made him drive.
We didn't make him drive. We asked him to drive.
They didn't ask me to, hey, Ronald, I'll tell you like this. They didn't ask me to drive no more.
Wow.
That's that California ride. That was a ride to remember there. If you ever drove to California, that's a drive to remember.
Tell me about it. Yep.
Couldn't compare it.
Well, you guys got back together, what, in the early 2000s to record?
Yes,
2004.
2004, and it came out 2006.
Yep.
That was me, Nate Alexander, and Nate Newsom,
And
and
Ellsworth Senior.
Ellsworth Senior,
And
and Pre, and that Pre was Clay's wife.
Right.
November 4th to November the 8th, 2004.
Where did you guys record that?
Detroit.
In Detroit, that was Clay's studio.
Right.
It was over on Davidson. Ronald, do you remember, Marvin, do y'all remember a restaurant called Kennedy's over on Davidson? It had a red carpet in there, but it was close to that. Because I don't remember, but Clay said it was close to where that studio was. In between 7 Mile and 8 Mile.
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember that one. I remember the Davidson studio, and I remember us going out to get something to eat after we recorded.
It was a real nice restaurant. That was yeah. I didn't know you have a horse in your house.
That's my little doggy. He's a little puppy.
Hey.
That's a horse.
Who said that was a horse?
Nate. I mean, I'm sorry. Stevie.
There was one other name I came across, Mike Harris. Did he?
Mike Harris was a little bit younger than us, and Mike Harris they was in another group of Springfield, and they could sing good. That was Slack, Ricky Parsley, and Harris, and they were good too. But Mike loved to sing. We just loved guys that loved to sing. We all knew each other. We was all friends.
When did you pass away, Stevie?
Right before we got together in 2004. Wasn't that right, Nate?
Right.
Yeah, because I was going to get back with y'all then at that time. He called me and asked me.
Oh, he was gung-ho. He was gung-ho. I mean, I talked to Mike Harris more than I talked to anybody. I've been talking to more than I talked to you or Nate Newsom. And Mike Harris, he was gung-ho. He had a massive heart attack.
And he did record some songs with us, but we called ourselves the Love Makers at the time.
I remember that.
I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Love Makers was Nate Newsom, Marvin Sutton, Ellsworth Senior, and Mike Harris, and they had a good sound.
We signed with Island Records.
That was a good sound. Had a good sound. All Springfield guys.
Yep.
Now Nate Alexander was from Dayton, but Nate Alexander was a real good singer. Had a real good ear.
A strong voice. Strong.
Nate Alexander, and to replace a guy like Ronald Logan, we had to get a guy like Nate Alexander, because we tried other singers, but didn't nobody really match up. I mean, I'm not dissing nobody, but to replace Ronald Logan, you had to step it up, and to replace a Marvin Sutton, we couldn't find him. so
That's right.
so me, Nate Newsom and Nate Alexander, we sung with three for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we traveled. We kept on going. We kept on traveling with the different shades of brown with three singers on the end. And we had a good sound.
There was
But
Steve, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I said there was another person that I ran across the other day. I was doing research for somebody else on Bishop Michael Cooper, who passed away last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his obituary mentioned that he had managed the group.
Yes.
Was that like at what time period would that have been?
That was me and Nate Newsom and Nate Alexander, with the three of us. I don't think, Marvin, was you ever with us when Mike was with us?
Yeah, well, Mike got gigs with us for Central State and some other places. Mike used to get gigs for us.
Would you, Ronald?
Yeah, when I was there, Mike Cooper was there. He was a disc jockey.
When Herschel, I don't know.
Yeah, they were. Oh, I remember well because Mike and I used to, when we got in church, we talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
And Mike and Herschel used to do them deals. Well, they used to do them deals. You know what I mean? And but yeah, Mike and every now and then he would introduce us on stage.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, and Marvin was with the group during that time. And we used to. I'm just trying to think of what was that place up in Lima that we used to go sing.
Utopia.
Utopia, yeah, Utopia Club. Yeah, that's when a whole bunch of Fred Bentley used to drive us. Remember when Fred Bentley was with us?
The fun.
And we had a hearse. We had a hearse and Fred Bentley, and we loaded all the equipment in the hearse, and we go up to the Utopia, and Fred had a gun right there because that was a pretty rowdy place, as well as London, Ohio. That's when we got all of our equipment messed up. They got drunk and started fighting, and they broke out. I think we were singing The Temptation, and we was in a country and western club, and they wanted country and western, and we were singing soul song. We were singing The Temptation, and I don't think they liked it.
Hey, but I'll tell you something funny. I said I like the song "All I Have." I think Nate Newsom used to take the cord and microphone. It wasn't cordless microphone back then, and Nate had this cord and he took it out in the audience and he was singing "All I Have." And this guy, they didn't fight, but man.
Oh Lordy, yeah, I remember. Where was that? Lima? Oh no, Washington Courthouse. When that Washington Courthouse, it was some kind of afternoon club, and that girl came up. Nate was singing his face. I thought Nate was, Lord have mercy, was gonna get killed that day.
Yeah. We stopped going out in the audience though. That stopped us. It stopped us from going out to the audience. Hey, if y'all remember when we was Nate, it might have been us three, but we went to the Marvin. Did you ever go to the Clock Bar in Cincinnati? Marvin? You don't remember?
You lost your sound a little bit.
Okay, well, we went to the Clock Bar, and the Clock Bar was sort of like what you was talking about, Ronald. It was in the hood. It was in the hood, but it was a fun place. And they was talking about, we better see a show. We'd have paid our money to get in here.
That's right.
Man, you had to walk through the tables to get to the stage. And boy, when we got to the stage, we started stepping. When we hit the microphones, we were singing hard. And at the end of the first show, dude opened up the door, throw something in there, and said, "Y'all go and get down. Yeah, we like." Man,
did you guys have any other memorable shows in the Springfield area?
A lot of shows.
A lot of shows. The Evans Stadium. When we remember,
you remember that? You remember when we sang at the Evans Stadium?
Yes, that's what. Yes.
And we had to change clothes underneath the stadium. but we came out of there and we was gonna run across that whole football field
That's right.
to get to the stage.
Yes, yes, I
Man,
remember
I
that.
got to that stage, I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, because you couldn't breathe. That's right.
Couldn't breathe, man. But somehow we figured it out and we did a show, and I really enjoyed doing that show because it was crowded. I mean, it was a whole lot of people there, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
I tell you what, we never tried that again.
And
Yeah.
I remember us singing at a place called the Shingle Shack, and
Yeah.
I think eventually it burned down. But we used to go there 3 or 4 times. That was close to downtown Springfield. Do y'all remember that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was a very small venue, and we used to do 2 shows, and we'd
Three?
empty the
I
they'd
think we
empty the
did.
club out after each
I
show.
thought we did 3.
I
No,
think we did
too.
three.
And he did something that no one had ever done in Springfield before.
Empty the house.
And after we did the first show, they emptied the house,
Yeah,
and then they would recharge everybody to get back in.
yeah,
And they had never done that in Springfield before. And we didn't like it at first. But then
Yeah.
after, no one said anything. They didn't get mad at us or anything. And they let the people back in, charged them again.
Yeah, yep.
I tell you,
and we did another couple of gigs. I know we did at Wittenberg Fieldhouse.
Yes,
Oh,
but
We had
Yeah,
a lot of
that was
people
with
there.
yeah,
that was with Delphonics.
Yeah,
yeah, it was, yes, that's right. Now I was gonna say that, Marvin. I
and
do
they
remember
watched our show too.
Sure did.
They'll finally watched our show.
yeah.
Sure did. Because a lot of people thought that we did some Delphonic songs because we used to do Delphonic songs.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that because they was on that show with us.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we did some songs by the Moments back in them days, and
Yeah.
people might have thought that they was Delphonic songs, but we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
That's right.
We wouldn't do that. But Springfield was a big fun place to play because that was home, and we had played with Nate's Lounge.
Yeah, Nathan.
Nate's Lounge. I mean, it wasn't big, but it was.
They
big.
packed it out. They really did.
It was fun. It was fun. It was standing room.
But
It
you know, they used to call that the Blues Cafe.
Yeah,
Marvin-
blues. It was blues when we were growing up.
I was
But
gonna
see,
say when we was growing up, they used to call it the Blues Cafe.
Well, see,
And it turned to Nate's place when we came along.
one thing about it we didn't realize, but we was all raised up on Diamond, other than Nate Newsom.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah,
on the other end of Diamond across Yellow Spring Street. Y'all was on the other end.
That's I spent a lot of time on
Yeah.
Diamond Avenue. Sure did. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys all go to Fulton?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. We everybody
Yeah.
everybody but Nate Newsom. Nate was on the other side of town.
Nate probably went to Northern.
No, I went to Emerson. I went to
Emerson?
Yeah. Him and Jinx.
Oh, okay.
Jinx kid, I'll be daggone. I forgot about old Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't meet with Jinx until me and Marvin got over Kiefer.
Yeah.
It was in junior high school. That's when we met with Jinx.
And
And-
then were you guys at Springfield High School?
And then we went
Yes.
to Springfield South.
Well, I guess it would have been
South.
south by then, yeah.
Ringville South High, yeah.
Yeah.
Springfield South.
So how about did you guys play at the place that would have been at the other end of our building now, Center Street, where I don't know what it was called then, but it was Burton or the Guy Hotel or
The Guy Hotel.
Guy
yeah.
Hotel.
Right across from the police department.
Yeah.
We probably was the last group to perform in the Guy Hotel. But see, in the past, way before us, it's been some great entertainers.
That's right.
Guy Hotel. The Guy Hotel was the Nancy Wilson. Rusty Bryant.
That goes way back. That's right. You're absolutely.
Guy Hotel goes way back.
But it was right across the street from the police department. That was what was so strange. And all the things that we did in the Guy Hotel, and it just seemed like cops could arrest us, but they didn't.
A lot of things were happening and we was we was a real young age too. I don't think I was 21, Ronald. You might have been 25. But
Yeah. I sang at the Guy Hotel before I got with y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
with,
Oh, did you?
yeah, me, my brother Roger, he was playing bass, Dito Palmer, Lee
Yes,
Parks,
Dino Palmer.
Dito, and I was
I
the
remember
singer
that.
for the group.
No kidding.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
the time, Marvin, do you remember when we were singing there? Stevie had what Stevie was the epileptic
Epilepsy,
he had
epileptic
a
seizures. Yeah,
It's
scared
something
me
you don't
to
need
death.
to tell though.
Boy, that scared me. And Stevie, that one really scared me. We was on stage singing, and you had that seizure, and we didn't know what to do. I think we did the wrong thing because we were trying to put a stick or something in your mouth, but you had horrific strength. There was no way in the world we could hold you down.
Okay. That's enough of that.
yeah. Because well, he had one too. I think in the basement of the YMCA when we were
Yes,
practicing
when
one
we
time.
practiced. That's
Yeah.
right. Sure did. Wow. But our experience, Natalie in Springfield, we sung all over the place. But in the 60s, the population of Springfield was a lot bigger, and there was a lot of entertainers that were coming through Springfield. There was a lot of places for us to sing. And so we got a lot of opportunity to do a whole lot of singing in Springfield, and we really enjoyed it. Masonic Temple on Fair Street
Yeah.
was a very, very popular place.
They used to give cabarets back in them days. You know,
Yeah.
you bring your own bottle. You bring your
Yeah.
own bottle, and there was some fun little gigs right like that.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we would take the door on that. You know, and
Yeah,
we
that's
would
right.
we would do pretty good
Like
for
the
that
other
time.
room in Columbus.
I
Like the other-
remember we did a cabaret, I believe it was, at the Masonic Temple, and I remember it because it was the first time that my mother ever came and saw me sing.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
the first time. You know, she was the kind of person, you know, you singing for the devil, you know.
I
So
know.
she never would come and see, but we finally talked her into it, and she loved it. She
Wonderful.
loved it.
Hey, I remember when Nate Newsom's mother came, and that's when the fight broke out. I think we was in London, and they had a screen door, and I wasn't doing no fighting in no club.
Yeah.
I was the first one out, but Nate Newsom's mother was right behind me.
Well, when that Wanda's Gate 90 or something?
Wanda's Gate 90.
Yeah, boy. Lord have mercy. Boy, we had. Do y'all remember in Cleveland, Ohio, on 55th Street?
Way Out Record.
Way Out Records. They signed us away and wanted us to go to England and change our name to the Persuasion or something.
But Sensations.
Sensation.
Yeah.
Don't
You remember the
don't
song they had out?
Don't you
Yep.
go.
Mm.
Please don't go.
Sing it, Stevie. Go ahead, Nate. I hear you back there, man.
You don't want to hear me, not now.
Yeah, I do. I want you to sing "Ooh Baby Baby." Now, hey Marvin, were you the one that sung "I Found Love on a Two-Way Street"?
Huh?
Did Marvin sing "I Found Love on a Two-Way Street"?
Not with y'all. No.
Was it you, Nate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I found love on a two-way street, lost it on a lonely highway.
Y'all remember where I did? I think I called it Morning.
Oh, who's it by?
Gil Scott Heron.
Yes,
Did we make up a background?
You had to make up a background.
I sure did.
I led that song, but y'all made up a background. I'm telling you another song we did like that. Marvin led a "Hey Girl" by Donny Hathaway. It didn't have a background. It didn't have a background on it. Me, you, and that was Ronald and Nate Newsom.
Yep.
Remember that? Hey Girl.
Hey Girl. That's right.
Roger was at I think was at my house. And Roger was, he always had to put his 2 cents in. And one thing about Roger Sutton, that was Marvin's older brother, but we would always listen to him.
Yeah, he could sing, man. He had an ear.
He had an ear. He had an ear. Yes, he did.
Did Roger ever get a chance to hear the different shades of brown, Marvin?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
What
he
did you
loved it.
think? What did you think about us?
Oh, he
Oh,
tried with us. You don't remember? Wait a minute, man,
he did
y'all,
go to a couple gigs.
he,
Yeah.
hey
Oh,
man,
okay.
when we come back from Battle Creek or
Lima.
no,
Battle Creek.
he was driving.
Battle Creek.
And Nate Newsom had a green Cadillac, and I was sitting in the front, and you, Marvin, and Nate, Marvin, Ronald, and Nate Newsom was sitting in the back, and everybody was asleep, and Roger was driving, and the speed limit was 70 back there.
Oh, I remember that.
Roger was doing 80. so, so, so police pulled us over, and Roger pulled me across. It was a bench seat. Roger pulled me across the seat under the steering wheel. He said, "Get out, get out, get out." he, he told the police this man was driving. Roger said, "I'm the road manager. This is a singing group. I'm the road manager." Man, Roger had the police laughing, man. He had the police was laughing. He said, "My eyes must be playing tricks on me." He said, "What you got to say?" I said, "I was driving." And the police said, "Well, hey, here's a ticket." And we all got together, we all chipped in and paid that ticket.
That ticket, that's right.
You remember that? Yeah, that was.
Roger Sutton was the kind of guy that if we met his approval, we knew we had accomplished something, because Roger Sutton was the man that taught so many people harmony, how to sing, how to do everything. Roger was probably one of the best. I don't know how he had a real good voice. He could sing, but he knew how to teach groups how to sing together. Roger really was gifted.
He was a real good critic too.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He was a good critic. Yeah, he was.
He was. He was. But he was first of all, and most of all, he was a music man.
Yeah, he was.
He was a music man, and whatever he said, you paid attention to.
Was
Even
vocal coach or?
even my son Sean, you know, he would come up my house and I would try to learn how to play this bass, and Roger had a guitar or a keyboard. He would jump on the keyboard, he would jump on the guitar, and Sean had drums, and we would play, and we'd make us some music though, but Roger was always a teacher in my eyesight, and I know Marvin, that's his brother, but then he was one of my first teachers.
Yeah. Yep. He sure was. I think he was my first teacher too. Do y'all remember Jeff Swabshire?
Oh yeah.
Grew up with him.
He lived down at the other end of Dibert, not far from Stevie in Fair Vista. Yeah, grew up down there.
Now that guy he had one of the best voices in the world. How many great singers did we have in Springfield that nobody ever heard of, but they could really sing as well as anybody in Motown?
Mm.
Hey man, but see, you go to Highlight Baptist, and I seen the blind boys come out of Highlight Baptist, man. I'm not for real. They come out right on Diver, before they moved on Western, and
Wow.
and them Carpenter girls and
Yeah, that's right.
and them. Hey man, they could blow, but they had a guy named Radio.
Oh, Radio.
I
Yeah.
read Radio.
Radio Robinson. Then they had a guy named Ronald Ridley. Ronald Ridley changed the song, "If loving you is wrong, I don't want to do right." But he said, "If serving God is wrong, I don't want to be right." And this guy coming from right over on the west side, what we call Needmo.
That's right, Needmo. That's right. I remember.
Oh my goodness.
Outhouses. They had them outhouses.
But it was some singers that came up, and Freddie Appleton. If you singing up on this corner of Yellow Spring Street, and somebody couldn't hold their part, all you do is tell Freddie, take the second, take the bottom.
That's right.
Take the top, and Freddie would jump right in.
That's right. That's right.
All them Suttons could sing, all them Appletons could sing. I don't know. All them Appletons was musically inclined. I don't. Is there what's this? Parks and Applins, I think was related. Is that right, Marvin?
Yeah.
All of them was music. Most of them was musically inclined. Most of the Suttons was musically inclined, but I don't remember Craig.
Remember Leroy?
Marvin.
Remember
Oh,
Leroy?
yeah.
Oh,
My
no.
cousin,
Yeah,
Leroy Sutton, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
You and him was real cool, Jingles.
Huh?
I see y'all in graduation.
Oh,
Leroy.
you did?
Remember a picture of you and
What?
Leroy. And
Yeah,
so
Jingles and Leroy grew up right
in the
across
east
the
side.
street from each other on
Sure
on the
did.
east side.
East End.
Yeah.
See, Jingles used to have to come over in the West End, though.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Heck
See,
yeah.
Jingles' dad and my dad worked at the post office.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. We always knew each other.
Sure
Springfield, that
did.
kind of
Oh, sure
town. Was
did.
that kind of town. I loved growing up in Springfield. But it was a place to always to remember.
Look, and all y'all
You
let
better
me
know
know
it.
here, I'm still in Springfield. All you guys are all over the country. And see, we getting all, they think we're eating cats and dogs here. A lot of bad stuff happening, and y'all all over the country. Y'all need to come on back home and help me. I'm down here trying to fight this all by
Hey.
myself.
Well, Ron, you still like duck, don't you?
He
No,
greasy.
did
He
Marvin
look-
say that?
he like that little greasy.
We don't eat ducks either, Marvin. That's not true. That guy was making that stuff up.
Hey, when Motown moved to California, I seen Sharon Walls up the Duffys, and I told Sharon to give me Roger Walls' number. I grew up with Roger. Me and Marvin grew up with Roger Walls, and Raj called me not long ago. He said, "What they doing to our hometown, man? They got us eating dogs and cats."
Yeah. That ain't true at all, man.
Yeah, Raj know it ain't true. We all know it ain't true.
Lord have mercy.
Steve,
But I really
ask,
appreciate.
oh, I wanted to ask you, are Oates Warfield,
Yes,
is that
that's my
related?
that's my oldest brother.
Okay. I remember we did a program with him many years ago here at
They
the.
called him the mayor of Center
Yep.
Street.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, he knew everybody. Hey man, I would go in the barber shop and he would say, "You know who this is?" I said, "Man, don't do me like that." I don't know who that is. No, I don't know who that is, man. But he knew your uncle, your cousin,
Everybody.
he knew everybody. Everybody knew my brother Oates.
Wow. Yeah, it was a lot of fun growing up, man. A lot of good memories, a lot of great things happening. Right there where Oates had his barbershop, it used to be Jack and Jill Nursery School, and it used to be Lincoln, a black theater, the Lincoln Theater, right there in that same building.
But
Was
see that Ronald went there, but see, me and Marvin wasn't born then.
Oh, wait. See, you had wait, yes, you was. Y'all was already in Fulton when I was in that was called nursery school. When I was in nursery school, I was 3 or 4 years old. You and Marvin was in the 4th grade about then.
I think the truth has come out. I think everybody knows that Stevie and I were the babies of the group.
And me and Jingles is about a few weeks apart.
Okay. Hey, Nate.
Yep, we sure are.
Quiet if you're going to help me. Where Nate's
And me
quiet
and
back there.
Steve, and I'm 6 months earlier than Steve. Okay.
Right. Me, you, and Jingles is right in the same vicinity.
Hey, look, I'm not afraid to say or ashamed to say I was older than everybody.
Yeah, no shame in that.
And that's
No
okay.
Hey, tell Ronald that.
I'm okay with it. Hey, Nate, I'm okay with it. I'm just waiting when you're going to chime in. But I think what is so important is that when we came along, a lot of us, Marvin and Stevie, and Nate, we had talent shows. There was so much going on. So we developed our skills and stuff because we was always in a talent show, always rehearsing, always singing. By the time we got to Detroit, we spent a lifetime of rehearsing and singing. So it was a natural thing for us.
We go back to when we first started singing, talking on this interview. If you go to the 5 Heartbeats of that Temptation movies,
Yes.
We could relate to everything. And that's the same way that they grew up. It's the same way we grew up in Springfield. We grew up that same way. You know,
Same way.
hey man, I seen Dick Clark Caravan of Stars at the Memorial Hall, and I think Bobby Freeman made the swim. The Drifters, they was
You're right, Stevie. You're right.
There Goes My Baby, and man, they had processes.
Y'all remember Wells?
They had processes, and believe it or not,
Yeah.
Roger Sutton. We keep talking about Roger Sutton, but Roger Sutton used to get processed.
Yes, he did.
And Marvin used to get processed.
Yeah.
And Marvin permed my hair. Hey, if you was a singer, you had to get a process. I don't know.
That's what it was like back in the day. It was like that back in the day, Steve.
I had to get it.
By the time we came along, Stevie, we was wearing afros.
Yeah, but you know, this I'm talking about before.
Everybody loved to do had the do rag. And Roger, I didn't know Marvin did processes.
Oh man, Roger actually went to cosmetology school. He never completed it. Didn't get his, but he got very good, and he had a shop up in my mother's house on the second floor, and I learned how to do it through him, and I learned how to do barbering, cut hair, and while I was in high school, man, that's how I made my money. I'd get up.
Our first pro.
Yeah, we used to get up.
Remember that?
We used to get up on a Saturday morning and start at maybe about 8, 9 o'clock, and especially on holidays, we might not finish until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had a clientele like that.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That was good money, I bet.
Oh, good money back then. Oh yes.
And see, when I stopped singing, I was going to work with my brother. You talking about Oates, and I was going to work with him, and I've been doing hair for almost 50 years now.
Wow.
I've been in the hair business for 50 years.
Yeah, but you went to cosmetology school too, didn't you?
I went to cosmetology school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
See, hearing from you guys, this is the only way to get these stories. I mean, you can't, this is a whole other world that it's not, it's not like that anymore. It's not in Springfield, and just, I mean, the music business, the music world that you guys experienced is so different than today. So it's amazing to hear.
I may be wrong, but out of the group, I think that we have 4 members of Different Shades of Brown that either graduated from college or graduated from some kind of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of us.
I attended, but I didn't graduate.
What school did you attend, Marvin?
Wittenberg? Well, I attended Clark Tech, and then I attended Wittenberg for about a year. In the evening while I was working. Yeah.
I thought it was Wittenberg. I thought it was Wittenberg.
I graduated. I went to Continental Beauty School.
Was that in Columbus?
No, that was over top of the hub, down on High Street.
Okay, because my brother Roger, he used to drive up to Columbus to cosmetology school.
Yeah. Now Sean went to Columbus, Ohio. That's Ohio State. That's where Oates went. He got his barber license at Ohio State Barber College. Sean went to barber school in Ohio State.
And then Ronald graduated from Antioch.
Yeah. And you graduated from
Wilberforce.
Wilberforce, that's right. Yeah. Well, the mindset, I think the mindset, you guys correct, the mindset was we wanted, if we didn't make it singing, we at least wanted to have some kind of degree or some kind of training or some kind of skill so we can make a living. But I think for me, Nate, I think what I learned, even when I got in church, I look back at the Different Shades of Brown, my discipline and the things that I was able to accomplish. And I think I told you, I learned it with Stevie and Marvin and you, Nate, because of our discipline, because of our work ethic, because we liked what we were doing. We practiced all the time.
And we worked hard. We worked hard at that.
We worked hard. And then I thought Marvin went to Wittenberg. And so I thought that was amazing because at that time, Marvin was thinking college. I wasn't thinking none of that stuff. But when I said, but Marvin's gone to Wittenberg. And then I think when you went to when did you go to cosmetology school, in the 60s or the 70s?
The 75.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's
Okay.
what yeah. And see, back when I went to Atlanta, Georgia, that's when the Love Makers started. And what year was that, y'all? That was in what, 76 and 77, something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. See, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. But see, one thing that we had, we would do, we had a good work ethics. So cause see, is like Roger Sutton, John Duncan, and Lloyd Moore, them kind of guys. Them guys
Yeah.
was good, but we took it to another level.
I work ethic. That's what it is.
Ethics took it to another level.
That's exactly.
You know, and see, like we said, we worked jobs, but we lost our jobs because, you know, we started going from city to city, then we started going from state to state, and then we couldn't get back. So that's why we lost our jobs.
That's right.
Because we weren't saying we were dedicated, and you got to be dedicated for that, you know, because sometimes
you sacrifice, Stevie. You sacrifice so much.
It's a sacrifice, and Jingles, you know, because you be around Otis Williams, and
right.
and see the Temptations. They didn't have a hit for 6 years, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Long time. It was a long.
The Supremes, they were called the Hitless Supremes.
That's right.
Right. They didn't have no hits at all for years.
They was recording, and see, we was recording, but see, the records was playing in spots. It didn't play in the top. It didn't get into the top 40, but they played real good in spots. Dayton, Ohio, I think went to I know went to the top 10. In Columbus, Ohio, I know went to maybe the top 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a good reputation in Columbus. We had a good reputation in Dayton.
We had
Y'all had sales over in Europe too, Stevie. Y'all had sales over in Europe too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now, I understood that one because, you know, but singing. This is what I've never been into the service like Nate Newsom and Ronald Logan, but singing took me from New York to Los Angeles, California, from Wisconsin to Texas. But I've been real close to Canada. I've been real close to Mexico. But it wasn't for singing, I wouldn't have did that. So for the experience, man, is priceless.
It is priceless. You're absolutely right. I learned a lot from you guys singing. I think we were young enough then. I'm not don't pick on nobody's age, but I think what we did was we bonded with each other. I really enjoyed singing with you guys. I learned a lot. I really did.
Right. And we cared. You got to care. And see, so a lot of groups that was from Springfield, they was good too. But they didn't have sometimes you got to take chances. As you know, and sometimes this Facebook thing, I'm trying to I get into it, but sometimes just circle, as we get older, the circle gets smaller. We was a big circle, and then we get into things we shouldn't have gotten into. But then the older we get, the more we learn how to cope with life. And our circle gets smaller, and then we could see for ourselves. And so what I do now, I'm always going to sing. I'm always going to do music. But my circle has got smaller. It's only for me now. You know, into my hair business. And I'm 75 years old, and I'm still working. You know, I don't want to shut down. I don't want to shut down. I don't want to shut down.
Same here.
Well, the great thing now with as much as there is online, you can find most of your songs on YouTube, and some of them I found a couple. They just got put up in the last 2 weeks, and I was like, who put these up just recently? Yeah. So like I was just looking today, and there was a couple that I looked for like a month ago that weren't there, and now they're there, and they had like a new upload date. So
well, you know, we got the CD there. Have a Heart. There's 14 songs on that CD.
Is that one that people can still purchase? Is that available?
Well, Amazon might be able to get something for you.
Well, and I know you can find some of those ones from that last recording. That those are on YouTube too. Some of
Yeah,
them.
Have a Heart. It's the next CD.
And you could get, you also could get the book, the Golden Years of Motown.
Oh,
Yeah.
This book, The Golden Years of Motown.
Yeah,
And
I had that, Steve. I got that book myself.
we have a nice article on the different shades of brown.
Here it is.
Very nice.
that up. Well, you guys really should write a book. Or any one of you could write a book. But you guys could. I think it would be. You guys have a lot of stories to share. I know one thing I want. So I'm the archivist. So usually I'm doing research and I do Zoom programs where I share stuff from our archives. And I always tell people, obviously, I'm not a time traveler. I don't have most of these memories. I'm not as young as I look, but I am younger than most people that I do interviews and programs with and everything. But I do a lot of my research online and newspapers.com. And I would like to look through the papers to try and find any of the anything advertising you guys playing anywhere. And I can send you guys a file of that because I didn't really dive into that, but I'm sure there's lots of great ads and stories about where you guys were traveling that you guys
Hey,
might
Nat,
not have. I don't know if you kept any of that kind of stuff.
Natalie, if you went to the internet, you can get the book, Motown, The Golden Years. But they'll say that you can't, but you can. Some people will try to sell the book for $100. Somebody else will sell it for $5. So it can be purchased, but you have to go. I wish my wife was in here because he knows, because we have gotten one of those books for each one of our kids. And we got 6 kids. And I got the book myself. I even got my daughter's boyfriend and his son one of the books. So it can be purchased, but it depends who tries to sell it to you, how much it will cost. But I think Stevie got another one.
I got several of them. I got a few of them. I got about 2 or 3 of them.
I purchased a couple myself. We'll get one to my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I seen Louvain Dempsey. She was one of the singers with the Dantes, and she signed it for me. I seen Martha Reeves. She signed it, and Martha Reeves know where everywhere she is in that book, and she signed it. And what's the other guy? Gino.
Yeah.
Gino, I met him. They did a 4th of July thing in Atlanta, and I took the book there, and they signed it. They all of them signed it.
That's priceless to have all those people still around that can signing it. Yeah. I know the Temptations are still touring or traveling.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, are there any more from that era that are still playing? Maybe not with all the. I know the Temptations only have one original member, but they are there any other groups that you guys know of?
I think the Spinners are still.
No,
they're still existing. There's only still one left in the group too right now.
Yeah,
gone. The last one died. Jingles. That was what was his name? Nate
Purvis?
No,
Henry. Frambo.
Frambo. Was it Frambo?
Yeah. He just died. He was the last one.
Yeah.
And Duke of the Four Tops, he just passed away. He's the last one left.
Henry Frambo just died too. He was the last one. He was the last one of them.
Okay.
But he died. But see, we go back with them. What was that song they did, Marvin? That's what girls are made for.
Yeah, that's right. That's what girls are made for.
Yeah, they were in high school when they did that.
We might have been over Fulton.
Yeah, they were in high school when they did that.
But that's why they was older than us. See, Temptations and all them guys. I'm talking about me, Marvin, and Jingles. They 10 years older than us.
Oh yeah.
And Smokey, old 10 years. What's her name? Like Tina Turner, 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Marvin Gaye, 10 years older than us. Barry Gordy is 20 years older than us.
That's right. You got it.
Barry Gordy is 20 years older than us.
Not what, 91, 92 now.
No, he's about 95. If we
Oh,
70,
really?
Barry Gordy is 95 years old.
Wow.
And see, the Simpsons and Otis and them, they're around 84, 85.
Right.
How old is Otis? About something
Well,
like
oldest be 83 Thursday or Wednesday.
Well, he was the youngest. I think Blue was the youngest one.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin was the youngest. But,
The original,
Eddie,
yeah.
Eddie and Paul and David was
Oldest.
see, David used to take Melvin around. He had to usher him, you know. But see, that's just like the different shades of brown. When we went to California, we had a drummer named Floyd
Bailey.
Floyd Bailey. Floyd Bailey was in high school, but Floyd could drum. Floyd was probably one of the best drummers we ever had. I mean, if we throw a hand up in the air, Floyd is on it. Pow, pow. Everything that we did, Floyd was on. But Floyd was in high school. And I think Marvin or Nate Newsom had to be his guardian. Marvin was his guardian. But he had to sign. And then when he came home, he played with the Ohio Players. And the Ohio Players named him a raw dog. Floyd was amazing. But Floyd he teaches driving trucks, big rigs.
No kidding.
He's an instructor. And he's in Arizona.
I got his phone number.
And he was a kid. He was in high school when we went to California.
Wow.
Lenny Lightfoot was the drummer. Do you remember? Y'all still remember Lenny Lightfoot?
Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whitburn. He was going to Whitburn when we got him.
I think him and Nate, we called him Poon, Nate Jackson, were two real good drummers that we had. I really like both of those.
Yeah.
But Natalie, one of the things that after I left the group and got in church, my wife wrote a play called From Motown to Gospel. It was for Marvin. It was when I was with Marvin and Nate and Stevie, and we put that drama play on, and we do those songs that we used to sing. And every time we put it on, it's always a packed house. People really, really enjoyed it. And I asked the group to come. I think everybody was recognized except not. I think they recognized you, Marvin. I didn't know you were a little older then, but everybody thought in Springfield and Dayton, wherever we put it on, we put it in Columbus. People wanted their autographs when they came to the John Legend. We put it on the John Legend theater from Motown to Gospel for about 3 days, and they got a chance. Marvin and Stevie and Nate brought their families in, and everybody asked for their autographs. And they still like the songs that we sang back in those days, back in the 60s and 70s. The songs that we sang, people still love it today.
Oh, it's just cold-blooded, Ronald. Just very nice.
But what I was surprised about, Jingles, is when we got finished on the night that they came, people in the audience got up and made a rush, and it was so crowded. Everybody was standing in line to get an autograph from Marvin, Stevie, and Nate. And I was just really, really happy that took place because everybody really enjoyed the group. And a lot of the people still remembered all of us who used to sing and back in the day. They did.
Nice. Very nice.
They recognized Marvin. Marvin was up there in age, but they recognized Marvin. And Stevie, now, that had to be Stevie because Stevie had that. I think who was it? I think it was Nate that had the stick. Or did you have the stick, Stevie? Which one of y'all had the stick?
I think I had a stick too. I had a stick. Me and Nate Newsom had sticks.
Yeah. Oh boy. But I remember that I mean, we've done a lot in our lifetime. We have, Natalie, and all of us have worked real hard. And I'm really proud of all of them. And Nate, I think that Marvin inspired me when he went to Wittenberg. And Stevie just had this work ethic, and he's still working today, which I'm really, really proud of. As young as he is, he's still working hard. And Nate, bless his heart, Mr. Golden Voice, Nate was the one that inspired me, because we would come back from a gig one time about 3 o'clock in the morning. Nate got up and put a suit on and went to church after we got singing from a nightclub. And that, to this day, Nate, I can still remember that, and that still has impressed me to this day.
Thank I want to say this. I'll tell you, I want to ask you guys something. As long as you've been around the music business, I bet it made you stronger people being in the music business for where you are right now. I mean, what I'm saying, made you strong right now. If you can handle the music business, you can handle anything.
Yes.
But sometimes Jingles, if you're in it for the money, you ain't gonna
That's
last.
right. What I said, you got sacrifice.
Yeah, you got to.
You gotta love it.
We did it for the love of music.
I know you did. I know.
That's what when we first started this conversation. That's really, because to be an entertainer, you have to love it. You have to, and you have to be willing to learn. You got to learn, because we used to go to amateur talent shows, and the crowd would go off on something that somebody did, and we would say, man, we could put that in our show, So you learn from everybody.
Oh yeah,
from anybody. It don't have to be a professional.
Yep. But it just made you such a strong. All of y'all are so strong to this day. What I'm saying, it just made you strong individuals.
It is. You remember I played the song the other day. You remember a guy from Dayton named Bobby Wilson?
Oh yeah.
He said he did a song called "This Is Where the Love Is." What
was it? I remember Bobby. I remember him.
Da, 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 da. Don't have to look no more. I've got what you're looking for. What was the name of that, Nate?
I remember Bobby, but I can't think of the song, but I remember Bobby Wilson.
You remember that Marvin too, Ronald.
I remember
girl, here is where the love is. You don't have to look no more. I got what you're looking for.
Go ahead, Stevie, sing it, man. Stevie, do you remember a guy out of Dayton called Little Woo Woo?
Yeah, Little Woo Woo, yeah.
That's good. Do you remember that, Marvin? The guy said, I don't want it all. I just want a little bit. I don't want it all.
The band was the Moroccos.
The Moroccos, that's exactly right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And see, when we were young, we came up with all of that, and that would just made me, like when Dick Clark Caravan of Stars came from Memorial Hall. I remember the impressions that Bobby Freeman made wanna dance and hold my hand.
Yeah, under the stars. Yeah, I remember that.
Baby, do you wanna dance? Amen. Amen. All of that was the Drifters. There Goes My Baby.
Oh yeah.
And so all of that made me just want to sing. Like when Otis ran down and saw the Coasters.
Yeah.
Amen. That's it. That's just they put that love in you, and you just keep on going there.
Hey Nate, didn't you sing with Stanley Strickland and
Keith Edmonds?
Keith Edmonds, Stanley Strickland, man.
Keith Edmondson. Yeah, I remember.
Man, that's the thing. The biggest difference between them and us, they could sing, but they didn't have no steps. None. We didn't do no routines. But as far as singing goes, they could do it with the best.
Yeah.
They could do it with the best, man.
Wow. Did Aaron Marsh sing with you with that group?
No.
Aaron could lead, but you didn't want him in your background.
Marvin, you remember Aaron used to try to sing with us when we was young, and we would tell Aaron, "You just sing lead. We'll back you up."
Yeah.
You know, you got to hold your part. You know, but if you ain't used to holding your part, some
Yeah.
people good voices
Some people couldn't,
know
you
how
know,
to sing.
they couldn't sing in the background. I mean, they
They have
couldn't
good
hear
voices.
the note. Yeah.
Some people got good voices but don't know how to sing.
That's true. That's where you need a vocal coach.
But I
Yeah.
think that singing is like anything else. You got to work at it. You have to work
Mhm.
at it.
Cause
Yeah.
I love singing in the background. I
Yeah.
love singing in the
I
background.
love singing.
See, when me and Marvin was young, we used to sing when we was in elementary school. But by the time we got to the 7th grade in junior high school, that's when Roger taught us how to sing. And I used to have headaches walking down Diamond Avenue because holding oohs and ahs and doo wop, choo wah, doo wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
But Roger would tell you, hold it right there, hold it right there. Don't. But but it was drilled into us at an early age, and that's what the difference was. And see, everybody did. They could sing in the car, in the shower, but you can sing together.
That's right. That's right. Marvin, I really enjoyed your voice, man. It was electric. And when you took Jimbo's place and you was over Herschel's on Hurd Street and you started learning those steps, and I think we was either headed for Toledo or someplace.
Bowling Green College.
Yeah, Bowling Green. And I thought then I knew we were gonna go to another level because of the charisma you had and the work ethic. And you wasn't a bad dancer either. You could dance pretty good.
Not bad, not bad. But you know, at the time that I got with y'all, you remember I was singing in another group, so I stayed active. You know, in singing. Man, from the time I graduated from high school, I just continued.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the name of that group that you sang in that you came over from?
Well, it was with Lee Parks. We called ourselves Marvin and Lee, and we had a band.
God, that's right. That's right. Sure was. That's right.
Kevin was the
Conga player.
conga player.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin sang too, didn't he? Did he sing with you?
He didn't sing with us, no. But Kevin could sing a little bit.
He could hold the harmony.
He could hold a note.
He could hold the note, and that's the thing about singing. You have to hold your note. You know, as long as you can hold your part. You know, that's what Freddie Apple. We would tell Freddie, take the bottom, take the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
And Freddie could hold the note.
Yeah, Kevin stayed out there in California.
Yeah, he sure did. Marvin Craig did. Keith did too.
He did, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I say your love of music is just so evident, and I'm amazed by your memory. I mean, not just for the songs, but for all the people that you've worked with and all the people that you've seen and everything. I have a hard time remembering what I did yesterday. And again, I'm not that old. But you guys remember some of this, like talk about some of this stuff like it was so recent.
Wait a minute, Natalie, that is true. I can remember 50 years ago, but don't ask me what happened last week.
I think that's how memory works. So the farther away stuff gets better.
Yeah.
So
People tell me that name. I've been in the hair business, and people tell me that name, and I'll be embarrassed to ask me, "Well, what's your name again?" And sometimes I've been doing people's hair for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and I'm embarrassed to ask them their name. But that's, But you asked me about Battle Creek, I can tell you what club it was,
Yeah.
what streets we was on.
You remember Kalamazoo, the West Side Lounge?
West Side Lounge, that was Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo.
And El Grotto was in Battle Creek.
Yeah.
Helen was the owner.
Yeah. Good memories. Good memories.
Good memories.
well, if I go through the papers and the way I do is I clip out the clippings and I save them to a file. I'll start a file on you guys and I'll share it. So you guys can reminisce looking through. You guys remember it already, but then you might have something in writing. Say, okay, I remember that show, and here's the ad for it.
I wish I had. You remember back in the days when we first started singing, they would do posters.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's right. Yeah.
They would put them around town. I wish I had one of those.
We'll have to keep an eye out for something like that, because I don't know if we have anything on different shades of brown in our archives or our collections. Casey might know if we have anything no, we probably don't have anything, so that's something
I
don't
sent
believe we
Casey-
have anything.
I thought I
Yeah.
sent Casey some stuff on the
Oh,
Yeah,
shade.
Dale, I do have the stuff that you sent us. I think actually Natalie might have that file.
yeah, so what aside from what you sent, we didn't have anything previously. So that's something we should keep an eye out for, if we run across it in because I know the ones that were on YouTube had the pictures of the records themselves on it. So
Yeah.
they had made the transfer from one of the original records.
Mhm.
So those are out there.
And now I'll tell you one other thing. You asked about my brother. And my brother, we would go to gigs, and my brother, he wasn't with the group, but he was like our financial backer. We would have to get clothes out.
Yeah.
And we would need some gas, but the gas wasn't that much back then, not compared to now. But we need to get some gas to go to the gig. So we would go to Oates, and he would say, "Man, if y'all ever make it,"
Yeah, we owed him a lot. Sure did.
we owed Oates a lot, man. He was our man.
Well, I bet you if we put a call out there to people to say, hey, do you guys have any different shades brown stuff out there? There's stuff in the woodwork that would come out that people have kept. So,
Wow.
And I'm sorry I missed that show at John Legend Theater that I didn't.
That's the show. That's what you have to catch. So Monica Logan, she does a real good job with that, and you got to catch that. When he first did that, we acted out ourselves.
Sure did. That's right. That was a Springfield High School.
Yeah, and at North High School.
Yeah, North. That's right.
And we did it at South and North, and we acted out ourselves, and now we we let some younger folks do that now.
Yeah.
Well, I just made the connection. Which church you are at? You're the one on Leffel Lane.
Leffel Lane, Greater Grace Temple. Yes.
And Monica, my daughter was in Annie last.
Yeah,
earlier
Monica.
this year. So she worked with Monica.
Yeah,
So
sure did.
So,
yeah, Monica graduated in Wittenberg in the drama class. So she works for the Springfield Civic Center, Civic Group. And so she's putting on, matter of fact, she's putting on, I think, Aladdin or something in a couple of months. She's putting on another play.
Yeah. Well, I did not make that connection till just now. So. Well, I know it's we could probably go on for hours and hours, but I appreciate you guys meeting me so late for this, so we could do this a little bit later in the day. Because Steve, I know you're still working, and
yes,
I know that this works, to be able to get people together.
Marvin's still working too.
I was gonna say Marvin's still working. Yep.
Even as the oldest, you're still working.
Marvin, are you still there?
I think you lost your sound again.
Is Marvin, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I think I'm holding my phone because it needed a charge, and I probably have my hand on the microphone.
Now Marvin, you're still working. You and Steve, you're still working.
Right.
And I'm still working.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I'm the only one not working.
No, that's all right.
That's all right.
But you already confessed to be the oldest, so we understand.
I am. Now, in fact, I'll be 80 the 1st of November.
Well, one thing for sure, you've been our age, but we ain't never been yours.
Oh, you like that, don't you, Stevie? Just keep living, man.
Yeah.
Just keep living. That's
See, yeah.
But what's amazing, Jingles, is all of us are still alive. Even Jimbo, the original, and Little Nate Alexander, the original Shades, we are still alive.
No, man, that is a blessing right there.
It
Yeah,
is a blessing.
all of us, Nate Alexander, Jimbo, and
Mhm.
us four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That is great. Well, you took care of yourselves. You did what you had to do, and you know, what can I say? I mean, you took care of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight to share all these great stories and everything. Well, I say we've been recording this, so I think what I'll do first is I'll share this back with you guys, so you have this whole recording and everything.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. But I want to tell the guys, the week before last, I was in Cleveland, Ohio, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that was at least I've seen that one time. That was amazing. Norman Whitfield was on in most of our recording sessions. He was inducted. Uh, uh, Cher was inducted.
Mhm.
Kool in the Gang. We performed with Kool in the Gang
Yeah, that's
too,
right.
and the Goody Mob. I don't know too much about them, but Sean and my stepson, they love that, you know. But I don't know too much about rappers. Because
Yeah.
that's really my go-to, my ear.
I
But
hear you, Stevie. I got you on that one. Me
yeah,
too. I feel.
So you got to go to the induction?
yeah, I got to go to the induction, and Cher and Dionne Warwick was Cher 78, Dion is 80 something, 82 or something like that. Norman Whitfield and Mary J. Blige.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, boy, I was in heaven. And then the next day was Sunday. That was on a Saturday. The next day I got a chance to go to the museum. And if that's something to see right there, you can't see everything that's in there. You get stuck with so much music in there. I mean,
Mhm.
I saw the Soul Stirs. I saw what's his name? Blues before Elmore James. Elmore James was before B.B. King and blues.
Wow.
Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke's little uniform, man. Sam Cooke was a little guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was. I said, "Damn, that's a little bitty coat." You know, Michael Jackson, that red jacket that Michael had, the glove was in there.
Yeah.
Prince's guitar. I mean, there's so much stuff in there, man. You really can't see everything on that. I was in heaven. That's something to see. If y'all could ever go to Cleveland, and
I've been there. I've been there myself. It's been years since I've been there, but it's
Yeah.
it's awesome.
it's awesome. It is.
I've been
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Cleveland Indians, the New York Yankees beat the Cleveland Indians. The same night that they let out when the Hall of Fame induction let out, the Cleveland Indians just lost going for the race to go to the World Series, and
Wow.
you know, with my bad knees, I was in the crowd. Sean and Nick, they walked slow with me. But it was something to see, man. It was
Big day to be up in Cleveland.
good day, good day to be up in Cleveland. And our first record company, Natalie, was in Cleveland
Right.
on 55th Street, right
That's
off
right.
of Euclid.
That's right. Way Out Records.
Way Out Records before we went to Motown.
That's exactly right. Yep.
I think I was about 19. Might have been 19 or 20 years old.
Wow.
What
Back
a
in the
life
day.
you guys lived. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, I say we're about to hit 9:30, so I think I'll let you guys go. So
Well, enjoyed it, and thank you very much, Natalie.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
I'll share this
Natalie.
back with you guys. And I would love to do something with this in the future that maybe we share, that we have like a live program with you guys on
Yeah.
Zoom, where you guys we can share some of your music. You guys can sing. We can share clips from this chat
Yeah.
here, and you guys can talk some more. So maybe we can talk about maybe doing that sometime in the new year, when we get into
Yeah.
2025. I think that would be really fun. And
All
people
right.
would really enjoy that.
Be glad
will.
to.
And you guys have people out there that would love to hear from you and see you. So you guys can share it out to your friends and family and
Yeah.
fans. So,
Okay, Natalie.
all right. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been great.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Have a
very
great
much,
night.
gentlemen.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks.
Thanks for everything. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.